These guys need to turn those frowns upside down. And I got just the thing for that. We call it doobie snacks.
Sorry, you don't mind a pot, do you? I get migraines.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
Me
fine.
too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a huge migraine in the parking lot in about 20 minutes.
Reminds me of the strain I smoked last summer called Here Comes Autism.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's sort of like this other batch we had called How Long Has That Van Been There?
No, it's this new strain my dealer gave me called Help Me Get Home.
I'm having some trouble over here.
What's the matter?
Can you help me get home?
One day, when the smoke literally cleared, I just fucking asked myself, do I really want to be fucking baked like one of my mama's pound cakes? Every day, all day? Like, is this life for me? Do I like this? And I gotta say that part of me was like, hell fucking yeah! And then there was another part of me just going like, yeah, but I don't want to have to. And it was that voice that really started clicking in July. And I couldn't really, I had never seen anything that exactly kind of mimicked my feelings on weed and just kind of how I use it, like with my anxiety and just seeing somebody kind of go through similar shit. And then I was watching The King of Staten Island one day, more specifically, this fucking classic scene with the epic, incredible Pete Davidson. Check this shit out.
Yo, where'd you get this? This shit does not taste very good.
What are you talking about? This shit's fire, dog.
Do you guys even really get high anymore? I don't really think I get high anymore. I think I just kind of am myself.
I haven't been high in a while, man, but I still do it. I like the lifestyle.
I'm mad high.
Yeah, I was just feeling like me every day. And part of me was going, I love me. I'm dope as a motherfucker. And then another part of me was just going, but I don't want to have to fucking clean these bongs every fucking day. I want to gotta roll these J's every day. And personally, with the amount of money I spend on weed, I could buy a lot of shit. Like, I could afford to go to fucking Las Vegas and hire a legal hooker with the money I spend on weed. Some people are saying, like, that's pathetic. And I'm like, you've never been in a shitty relationship, have you? If you're in a shitty relationship, you're only in that relationship for sex. And if I go and pay someone for that, I cut out the fucking middleman. And more importantly, I get to keep my sanity. So who's the dumb person, really? I've never done it before. I'm just saying, I think it's a good fucking system. I think it's the world's oldest profession. And I think so long as there's testing and shit, nobody gets hurt. I don't know. I just smoked a fuck ton of weed. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't got the vid. Just, smoked a bit of weed. Because now I can actually smoke weed when I fucking want to. Because I had this epiphany in July, and I just fucking went on a crazy-ass quest. It was kind of ironic that I had all these fucking crazy stone out of my mind thoughts like, yo, I don't know if I want to smoke weed every day, but also my mind, like, at this time was just starting to fucking do some crazy wonky shit. And I'm autistic and retarded, so I was just kind of going with it. But I was smoking this stuff it was either called The Source or Quest. Either the growers were the source and the strain was Quest, or Quest was the growers and the source was the strain. I don't know. I was really fucking high when I have it. I have the box around here, but I'm too fucking lazy to go look for it. I kept the box because it was a really important moment in my life, like when I had these thoughts, because I'm just like, I'm going to get really fucking stoned every day, and instead of doing my normal shit, I'm going to try to learn as much shit as possible. Yeah. I didn't decide to just go on a tolerance break and just stop smoking weed because I thought I wanted to. You know, part of me knew, like, you can't just stop smoking weed after you've been smoking more weed than Willie Nelson, Wiz Khalifa, and Snoop Dogg combined. I'm kidding. I never smoked over an ounce in a day, but I have smoked several eighths in a day. Almost an ounce. There's been a couple of days when I've smoked an ounce, but it was a rare day. I think I did that on 4/20, my birthday, and a couple of other days. But after I got that epiphany. I was just like, I'm going to meditate every day. I'm going to listen to Solfeggio frequency music. You know, that's that musical frequency shit that's supposed to be tuned to the vibrations of the universe. And I thought that was all some bullshit, but I was just laughing it up while I was watching Bill and Ted talk about shit like that in the movie, the new one, Face the Music. And then I watched some YouTube videos where some Harvard and Yale motherfuckers were like, quantum theory has proven that the universe is vibrating at a certain frequencies, that nothing is solid, that everything is constantly vibration, and basically you can manifest shit with your thoughts and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, if people at Harvard and Yale think this, and obviously I'm not too fucked up when I'm thinking some crazy ass shit when I'm stoned, because they think some crazy ass shit, but then they went and proved that they're not too crazy for thinking it. So thank you for making us crazy motherfuckers who just like, you ever had some kind of thoughts and then some shit just happened and it's like fucking crazy. It's like the universe was bringing it to you. It's like, it's kind of like one of Bill Burr's great jokes in the stand-up when he's talking about wanting to get into flying a fucking helicopter and you just start seeing helicopters everywhere. It's like that type of shit fucking happens and it's fucking weird, and it's like the universe is speaking to us. And I was the kind of person who would want to punch a motherfucker in the face for saying that. So when I say that, please believe that it has a little tiny bit of fucking retarded merit at the very least. Weed is an incredible fucking plant. Like, I have no fucking clue what all the weed I have smoked has done. Somebody's gonna like say some nasty ass shit about it, but I also have a bunch of medical studies to show that smoking weed is not only like fucking good for your mind, but it's good for your body. It's good for everything. So I'm of the mindset that if people smoke cigarettes because they don't give a fuck about living, and if I smoke weed because I like love living, then I don't know. I think that if you smoke cigarettes, you die because that's what you want. If you smoke weed and you want to live, you'll probably live for fucking ever. Why not, right? Quantum theory proves we can manifest our thoughts into reality. And somebody's like, why would you want to live forever? Because there's a lot of shit to do in the universe when you don't got a bitch tying it down. Now, ladies, girls, women, old wonderful gals from years past even, please hear me now. If you are a decent human being and your man ever called you a bitch or a cunt, fuck him. And I don't mean literally, I mean fuck him, like hit him upside the goddamn head with a frying pan, fuck him. Because you're not a bitch or a cunt. A bitch or a cunt is a manipulative fucking ghoul of a fucking human being who just seeks to fucking cause misery in another fucking human being because this fucking ghoul of a human being just can't fucking be happy to save their fucking miserable cunt life. That's what a bitch and a cunt is, honey. So please do not take offense when I use the term bitch or cunt. I have been in relationships with way too many bitches and cunts, and that's why I've got out of them, and I've been on this fucking quest of just realizing the universe is dope as a motherfucker. Bill Hicks tried to tell us this shit in the 90s, but we just thought he was fucking stoned. Yeah, now I know I'm stoned too, but I sobered up for a while, for a couple of days at least, I sobered up enough to go, I'm gonna Google some shit to just see if anybody else has ever had these thoughts sober. Fuck it, they have. I don't need to be too sober to realize this shit. I don't know what I'm getting in touch with when I'm getting high, because I tell you what, I picked up this book called High Magic from fucking Amazon. And it's crazy. I was reading through this book and it's like you can use cannabis to like do manifestation shit. And I'm like, shit, I've been doing that without even realizing it. You can use it to enhance your meditation. Fuck, I have been doing that. And it's just like there's even like magic rituals you can do with it. Check out this book. Yeah, I've been watching some shit and just like really thinking about the world in a completely different fuck way. Like, you fan of the movie The Craft or the show Charmed? Shit like that? Yeah, evidently, like, witchcraft and, like, speaking words into power and shit and words of power, it fucking exists. And I'm over here like, I made fun of those people, and now I kind of think like them, and that fucks with my head a bit. I need to get high. Hang on. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? It's all good in the hood. In the ghetto. I don't question things anymore. Well, actually, I question everything now, but I question very little about the nature of the universe now. Because it's literally just so fucking excellent, magnificent, fantabulous, more phenomenal. There's a good word for it. It's fucking more phenomenal. Yeah, if you know what that word means, you dope as a motherfucker. Yeah, the universe is fucking more phenomenal. And when you have a more phenomenal universe, you don't question the fantastic shit that it bestows upon you. Like, you just go, magic exists? Probably. Like, fucking, there are aliens out there? Probably. Like, all of these things are most likely out there, already here. And the more we think about them, the more they're probably going to pop into fucking reality. Ain't that a crazy-ass fucking thought? That's actually kind of sane if you listen to these Harvard-Yale motherfuckers, like this Joe Dispenza motherfucker, who I really recommend because he's way fucking smarter than I am, and he talks about this quantum shit, and he'll blow your damn mind because he actually makes sense when he talks about it. He doesn't just sound like he's stoned out his fucking mind. Because I don't think he's ever smoked a day in his life. Maybe he did in college, and that's probably why he was the only one who was just like, yo, I think there's something to this show Quantum Leap, guys. And everybody else was just over here practicing regular math, and they're just like, you're smoking that joint again? Go fuck yourself, Joe. And Joe was over here like, no, guys, I think they're onto something. And they're just like, Joe, they're not onto anything. Go fuck yourself. But guys, come on, what harm would it hurt? And it was probably those guys that he just kept fucking begging and begging. It's like, come on, guys. He never gave in. You know why? Because when they're like, go fuck yourself, he was so stoned that he had no fucking ego. He didn't care. It's like, go fuck yourself, Joe. You're just a stoned loser. Guys, maybe I am just a stoned loser, but if I am, what's the fucking harm in listening to me for like 5 fucking minutes, guys? Come on. Do the fucking math. If I'm the stoned loser, you can take the fucking credit for the discovery. How about fucking that? Just help me the fuck out, because I know I'm a fucking stoned loser. Don't you think I know I'm a stoned loser? I smoke weed every fucking day. I am a stoned loser. Like, I don't think I can go through a day without getting fucking high. Maybe it's because I got to deal with you assholes. I don't fucking know. But let's check this shit out. They check it out, and they're like, fuck, he's onto something. And he's on something. This is a quandary in itself, isn't it? Sometimes I do laugh at my own jokes, and it's okay, because I love myself. And you should love yourself. And I used to want to punch motherfuckers in the face for saying shit like this, but trust me in this calm, meditative voice. Trust me, it is true. If you master your mind, you've mastered reality. And it's kind of like Page Master shit, or Kingdom Hearts shit if you're into that video game. No matter what fantasy video game bullshit, whatever the fuck you've seen, you into Lord of the Rings, motherfuckers? Guess what? Maybe that's a history lesson. These are thoughts that I have. They are thoughts that pissed off teachers. They are thoughts that kept me out of the really good schools. But yet these thoughts possibly aren't so fucking insane, especially in regards to the fact that it's a scientific proven fact that there's multiple different dimensions and universes out there, and that they, from time to time, overlap. So who the fuck knows with quantum field and Akashic record? Oh yeah, the Akashic record, Google that shit. If you're a Star Wars fan and you're like, I wish the Force was real, it is. It's called the Akashic record. Yeah, there's this fucking force field around us evidently at all fucking times, and it contains, it's like the internet. It's like Wi-Fi, okay? It surrounds us, it binds us, it penetrates us, and if you meditate right, you can evidently access it. I thought this sounded insane till I realized that the periodic table was dreamed up. Till I realized that 2 motherfuckers invented 2 different kind of telephone patents on the same day. It's kind of entertaining that those 2 people had those 2 thoughts. It's almost like the universe was going, what if something happens to one of the guys? We'll make another one. We gotta make sure that these fuckers get that technology. Stat! Go, go, go! And we've always been told, God, he works in mysterious ways. Well, isn't it funny the people who say that just don't fucking believe it when you're like, well, look at all this mysterious shit. Can't we revel in it together? I think the Muslims are onto something in their Quran. I think you should read it. It talks a lot about your dude, Jesus Christ. I don't want to read that book or be friends with us brown people. No. No, thank you. If you smoke some weed, you'd be looking at each other's books going, fuck! These are sequels. It goes Old Testament, New Testament, Quran. We got to get the Mormons in here. Because evidently it's like Indiana fucking Jones and the Mormons got the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull end of the stick. It's unfortunate, but it's still Indiana Jones. It still counts. It's still valid. It's still fun. Bring that shit in, guys. Let's check it out. I know, I sound a little insane, and this video is supposed to be about how weed cured my mental illness. Well, it actually did, because I'm not mentally ill anymore, guys. Like, I'm happy. Can't you tell? I'm having fun. All I did was smoke weed every fucking day, and for a period of about 3 to 4 months, I meditated every fucking day. Now, you probably can't fucking do that, and here's the thing. What works for one person's probably going to kill the next motherfucker, so I wouldn't worry about this shit. I would just worry about the fact that this little weird fucking experiment has proven that it can at least make a motherfucker become happy with life. That's a fucking win, guys. I love life. I used to say I loved life, but it was hard to actually enjoy life. Like, you know that feeling when you don't even have energy to play a fucking video game? You don't even have energy to watch a goddamn movie. Fuck! Who wants to go through life like that? Well, I went through life like that for 3 fucking years. It sucked. It was shit. It was the byproduct of a lot of fucking traumatic bullshit I went through, and also a lot of childhood shit that I went through. So believe me, I had the fucking odds stacked against me. But I fucking made it through, triumphed. Fucking stood like Macaulay Culkin at the end of the Page Master, just like, and now I triumph here and always. Because now I am not mentally ill, I am mentally hilarious, and you can make a fucking fortune being mentally hilarious. So long as you're cool with being laughed at, fucking run that shit, yo. Being mentally hilarious is the way to go. Because you're gonna make a ton of friends. Because only an ego fucking maniac is like, don't laugh at me. I don't want you to be happy and then cause laughter in the world. You poor, pathetic thing. You are sad, strange, and you have my pity. You know, you're just fucking your ass out of your own fucking fortune, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Basically, at the end of the day, it's all about getting rid of that bitch known as ego. I don't know what that shit is, but it's just basically when, like, you care what other motherfuckers think about you, and you think a little bit too much of yourself. Basically, if you just start looking at the world like you're in a damn sitcom, things fucking balance out. The only time that I was, like, fucking not able to enjoy life was when I was fucking taking life seriously. But quantum mechanics just fucking blew my mind, and now I'm just like, but if life can be whatever the fuck you want it to be, why the fuck are we making it a hard goddamn soap opera bullshit drama? Why don't we make it into Family Guy, South Park? Why don't we make it into a fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Why don't we make it into a good, nice sitcom, you know? Hell, why don't we make it into Star Trek? Star Trek's got a little bit of everything, you know? It's got comedy, action, adventure, romance. You know, kind of like the world. Why don't we do some shit like that? Because it takes imagination, Tom. And unfortunately, that shit is beat out of us at a very young age. Yes, what if quantum mechanics all rely on the power to believe in your own thoughts, the power to believe in your own imagination? Ain't that a bitch? I mean, that shit's basically been taking it from us since day fucking one. You know, you're running around fucking sword fighting with imaginary people, and they're fucking like going, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm fighting the pirates. What pirates? The pirates all around me. Get him to the hospital, he's schizophrenic. No, we're just having fun. Nobody's telling me to kill anyone. And if they do, I won't do it, because I don't want to kill anyone. So, you know, isn't it better if you just teach me to be a good human being, and then whatever fucking comes into contact with me, I can deal with? Wouldn't that be a fucking smart-ass thing to do? By the way, I'm totally not schizophrenic. I might seem like it, but I actually don't hear voices. damn it. I'm jealous now. I'm legit jealous of schizophrenic people. Because the only problem, I think, with hearing shit is just if you take yourself way too seriously and you're like listening to the voices like, okay, I'm going to do everything you say. It's like if you listen to them and you're laughing and then you're also like, hey, that's some good shit. I'm going to listen to that. I'm going to put the kill everyone at school thing in this box over here, and we're not going to talk about it ever again, guys, okay? But this shit about asking Stacy to the prom, we're putting this in the box of good fucking ideas. Wouldn't that be a good world to live in? Guess what, guys? We can live in that world. We create it every day with our thoughts. And just for the realist motherfuckers out there, so I can get a little bit off of my high horse here and get a little bit down to your Matrix version of reality. That's actually more technically accurate than you even realize, just from a point of view of capitalism, you know? If you create businesses that facilitate change in the world that you want to see, bigger bam, quantum manifestation! And maybe that's how the universe works. Maybe there are fairies and angels and shit too. I don't fucking know. I just know it's possible. And I know if that shit is possible, then if you think you can change the fucking world, fucking do that shit. Gene Wilder tried to teach us that in the 1970s. I mean, there's a whole damn song about it. It's called Pure Imagination. Genius is a motherfucker. Matter of fact, everybody go watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Sorry, Tim. You butchered a classic. I'm not one to usually put down other people's interpretations of art, but you butchered a classic. We're going to leave it at that. You watch that song, Pure Imagination, the way Gene Wilder sings it, like, come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. Take a look, and you'll see into your imagination. You know, that type of shit is fucking wondrous. And it's all about, you can change the world, you can do it. You want to see like a paradise? Look and see it, that type of shit. And it's like, wow, so the power of our thoughts manifest our reality. You can be totally miserable and in a fucking dope-ass crib. You can like have everything you've ever wanted, be a fucking millionaire and be fucking miserable. Imagine that. Imagine what thoughts can fucking do to rich motherfuckers. Like, you can go out and buy a sauna, put it in your backyard. You can buy fucking 10,000 fucking PlayStation 5s. Just cause, you know. You can go fly anywhere around the world. Like, COVID doesn't matter to you because you're so rich that if you went to a fucking place of business, you're just like, yo, open up just for me and I'll pay you for 5 days of business. Funny enough, no, rich motherfuckers had a kind idea like that in their hearts. If I was rich, I would. Yeah, just think about that. If you want to go to the fucking salon, Beyonce, you go to the salon. You go to that salon and you go, I love your salon. And I know that you're taking a slight risk by doing my hair, so I'm going to pay your fucking bills for like a month or some shit like that, you know? This is what you do with wealth, people. You don't go online every day on Twitter going, fuck the president, fuck the president, fuck the president, fuck the president. You start doing something about the world. See, this is when I realized, oh my God, the weed's working. I'm finally not mentally ill anymore. These people on Twitter are way fucking crazier than I've ever been. Okay, that's a lie. I used to be exactly like them. But now I look at them like, fuck, I used to be like that. Oh God, I'm so ashamed. Shame's a good thing, guys, because I'm glad I'm ashamed of being like that. I'm glad I'm ashamed of looking across the aisle at a fucking Republican or looking across the aisle at a Democrat, because, yeah, at one point I hopped from both sides. You know, I like taking it both ways. What can I say? In any case, I hated looking across the aisle and going, I hate you because you're not on my side. And then I hated jumping over to the other side going, well, fuck you too. I hate you because you're not on my side. I hated that shit. Hated it. But nobody else seems to fucking hate it, you know? I keep tweeting at these fucking liberal celebrities like, yo, Rob Reiner, you keep tweeting about the president, but you have vast resources, wealth, and connections. You could do a lot of shit for the world. Why are you bitching at the president? Is it just because you want fucking attention because you're a big fat fucking attention whore? You know, like, okay, that's not the nicest fucking thing to say, but it is technically accurate. You have the money to do shit for the world, and I'm just sitting here Like, yo, all you're doing is bitching, moaning, and complaining, and it ain't amounting to fucking anything. What the fuck are you doing? If I had what you had, I would be fucking, I don't know, changing the motherfucking world. Looking at Paul Rudd handing out fucking cookies on election day like, fucking Ant-Man, what the fuck? Is this fucker handing out cookies like it matters? What the fuck is Ant-Man on? Get me some of that shit stat. Like, it's fucking crazy. You have all that money, the resources, the influence, and you're out fucking handing out cookies? We all know why he did that, right? Nope. Did none of you else see through it? I was the only one, like, really? I used to think you were like a down-to-earth cool dude. There's no way that you did this not knowing that you were going to get pictures, not knowing that you were going to trend. You did this for attention, you little bitch. What the fuck? Like, I get it, COVID's kind of hit into your wallets, but do you really need, like, the celebrity Twitter stock that badly? See, this is the world we live in. It's a little cray-cray. But it's kind of in a good way because it's hella entertaining. And that's what weed allows you to discover, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I have no fucking clue what strain will do this shit for you, how much you're going to need to smoke, what you're going to need to smoke out of, you know. I can give you some tips, and I'm going to give those to you at the end of the video here. But other than that, what I really want you to kind of partake on with this video is the fact that, yo, you can fucking fix your mind if you try. That's literally the thing I want you to walk the fuck away with. Because people told me I couldn't. My first, and I will actually call her my most wonderful girlfriend because it is accurate, was like a major psychology major. And unfortunately, she was really pushing like, well, if your psychologist tell you need to be on Lexapro and all this stuff, you should be on it. And I was like, I don't think I need to be on it. There's this stuff called weed, and I'd like to fucking try it. And she's like, well, that's not legal here, so, you know, fuck you. And I'm like, well, I fucking think I'm going to California, so fuck you. But, yeah. So, get to California, try legal weed. It's not like I couldn't get weed in California, but, you know, I didn't because it was illegal there. So, I never smoked weed in Florida. I only smoked weed in California where it's legal. Who the fuck am I kidding? I smoked some weed while I was out in Florida because I fucking needed that shit to deal with fucking human beings. You know what? Absolutely, I did. Without a shadow of a doubt. I was like, fuck it. Can I get some? But I couldn't find any. Nobody would sell it to me. So one day I was walking through the fucking forest and I just saw weed growing and I was like, it's weed. It's free weed. And so I picked it up, I took it home and I smoked it, you know? I never bought it from anybody, so there was no crimes ever committed. So I don't know what to tell you. Weed will fucking change your life. It absolutely will. You do need discipline, though. If you're going to start using weed to actually fix your mind, that's the one thing I'm going to also want you to know. You can't do this without discipline. It took discipline to smoke weed every day and to just focus my mind on essentially just thinking about troubling shit and trying to figure out what I could learn from it and move the fuck on. Which is also why earlier when I was like, yeah, if you smoke weed, you can probably live forever. That's kind of why I'd like to. There's so much to learn, and if you can manifest things into reality, let's start trying to manifest death out of reality. Wouldn't that be amazing? Why the fuck not try? I don't think everybody for all of time has always been like, death is necessary. Do you know why? Because there's always been that one motherfucker that pissed them off so much they're like, trust me, no matter what, death is necessary. Have you fucking met Samuel? Okay? Did you meet Samuel? If you met Samuel, you'd fucking understand why death is fucking necessary. So believe me, it's necessary. Don't even think it's unnecessary, like ever, because it's necessary. That's why death is probably necessary. Isn't that crazy? If quantum mechanics, like, I'm not telling you this is absolutely 100% true because I'm retarded. Everything I do is 25% truth, 75% exaggeration. But the quantum shit that I'm talking to you about is based in reality. And since it is about manifesting shit into reality, because reality is not at all what we once thought, it kind of occurred to me that just maybe you have to have a wild, crazy Walt Disney-esque imagination to do that shit. And no, I'm not too anti-Semitic. It doesn't mean I'm a fan of Israel, though. I actually like the Jewish faith quite a lot. Big fan of Modest Yahoo, and big fan of a lot of people of the Jewish faith. Just don't like the people who run the state of Israel because they're committing genocide of the Palestinian people, and that's wrong. It's just wrong, people. It is. Sorry to say, you know. You'd have to be fucking mentally ill to look at a group of people wielding fucking military machine guns and shooting at unarmed children and going, oh my God. If anybody says that those army dudes with those guns shooting those children are bad, they're totally anti-Semitic. Okay, I'd like to know what crazy pills you're on, but it seems like you're very happy and ignorant is bliss, so if you want to stay that way, good on you, I guess. Weed will open your eyes. It'll most importantly open your third eye, and that's why you want to balance your chakras and shit, which basically amounts to keep the fucking spine straightened out and think happy fucking thoughts. Yeah, Peter Pan was not telling lies. He was like, if you think happy thoughts, you can fly, and evidently weed is pixie dust. So when you get some of that pixie dust shit and you smoke it, now not angel dust. It may be called angel dust, but trust me, the name's fucking ironic. When you get some pixie dust, and there should be a strain out there called pixie dust. If there's not, there's going to be one soon. Trust me. I've just mentioned into the fucking quantum field, and it's going to be manifested soon. So there will be a pixie dust strain soon. If there's not, I'll fucking make one someday. Trust. Trust. But also trust that if you do this shit with discipline, if you're not just trying to get fucking high and just laugh your ass off every day, which believe me, you might, and that's cool. If that's the flow that you're being given, go with it. But you got to learn to go with the flow either way. The universe is going to be kind of like, hey, today you just need to laugh and relax because tomorrow you're going to fucking cry your damn eyes out and we're throwing you a mulligan. You know, we're throwing you a bone. Scotty, throw me a bone. Well, we're throwing you a fucking bone, okay? And that's what you kind of have to realize. If you're actually going to dip your toes into any kind of shit like what I did, which is basically staying as high as you possibly can every fucking day and seeing how it's going to change and affect your consciousness, which is what I really wanted to do. Because when I started thinking about it, I'm like, this probably does alter our consciousness. Because if antidepressants are designed to alter your consciousness by rebalancing your chemicals, and that's exactly how they're designed to do. You ever go get antidepressants and they're like, they're not really going to take effect for a few weeks. Did you ever ask, that's strange, what the fuck's that about? Or did you just take them and go, okay, thank you? Because see, if you were like, what the fuck's that about? The doctor would have told you, well, it's because it takes a while for the chemicals to get rebalanced in your brain. And what that essentially means is that antidepressants are rewiring your fucking brain. Now, I was on those motherfuckers all my life, along with like ADHD medication and a bunch of shit like that. Antidepressants, anti-anxiety, all that shit. I have no idea what that did to my brain, but I will tell you this, it didn't help. I was erratic as fuck, impulsive, and I was not leading a happy, good life. I was not at all enjoying life, and it didn't lead me nowhere good. And I'm looking around at the world and seeing a lot of you people on these drugs and a lot of you people going, I have this or I have that, and that enables me to fucking take my pills and hit the easy button. Like, look, there's no easy button for this shit. You have to work through it at some point, otherwise you're on the fucking Titanic and that bitch is gonna sink. You can't let that fucking happen, guys. I actually care about you. You know, when Chester Bennington made that song, who cares if one more light goes out? Well, I do. I'm the only one who fucking listens to that song and puts my hand up like, I do. I care. I don't fucking know why, but I care. Like, even the people who've wronged me, I would fucking care if they killed themselves. Even like the worst fucking cunt or bitch that I've ever dated. I don't want anything bad to happen to them. What I would like is for them to have one day where they get to feel the fucking level of misery they inflicted on me, and then it like has this wave of epiphany, and like they cry their fucking eyes out and they realize, oh my God, I need to get my shit together. That's what I want to fucking happen to them. Like, that's the worst of it. And that's the power of positive thoughts, because you know what? If it wasn't for those bitches and cunts, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at in my life now, because the universe works in fucking mysterious ways. And if you ever, at any point, become an ungrateful motherfucker, the universe is just going to keep bitch slapping you until you're like, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that it could get worse than this. You're fucking right. I should be grateful. I'm sorry. You know, it sounds stupid. But what that amounts to is telling yourself, hey, it could always be worse. It doesn't have to be. Smoked a lot of weed. It doesn't have to be one of those fucking moments where you're actually thinking, oh my God, if I'm not grateful to the universe, they're going to punish me. Because I actually think if the universe is even bitch slapping you at that moment, what they're really trying to get you to do is to wake the fuck up and to become grateful so you can be happy. Because if you ever notice that these people who are bitching about shit, it's like, you're alive, right? Uh-huh. You got all your organs and shit. Everything's working as fair as it can be, as good as most people's. Yeah, okay. You're not homeless, right? No. Got a good source of income? Yeah, okay. I don't see what you're bitching about. Go fuck yourself. I felt like that for so long. Like, no. Good shit I smoked, I swear. But, you know, at some point when you feel that way, you have to remind yourself, like, shit, I get that they're feeling bad about your life, but you have to remind them, like, if you're feeling bad about yourself while you got a roof over your head, food in your belly, and things could be absolutely fucking worse, the reason you have to remind yourself that things could be absolutely fucking worse is to remind yourself, I should be happy. Happiness is a good thing, because when you're happy, good shit happens to you. When you're a miserable cunt, nobody talks to you at the party. It's the fucking rules of the universe. You ever notice that? The miserable cunt who's just hanging out in the fucking corner, nobody likes them. Nobody hangs around them. But the people who just walk in and light up the fucking room, everybody just wants to be all around them. Yeah, we should work on becoming those people. You know, there are these crazy fucking hippy-dippy people out there, and, you know, I don't think you're too crazy now. But the way that you talk like you're so sure about everything, maybe you just have mammoth confidence and mammoth faith, but I don't know, you come off a little douchey at times, is all I can say. But these people are talking about, like, star children and, like, you know, we're star seeds, and a lot of them seem to be southern white chicks. I don't know why, you know. I literally don't know why, but it does seem to be a literal factor that a lot of them are southern white chicks. I'm really into it when, like, some black chicks are talking about it, because they seem to come from it at a different kind of angle, and they're not quite as, you know, fucking grating on the nerves. I don't know why. There's just something about the southern white chicks who talk about, like, being star children sent here to, like, change the world, that we are powerful beings and all this shit. I mean, I dig what they're talking about. I just want to smack them in the fucking face when they're talking. I can't help it. You know, I feel bad even for wanting to, and I never would do it, because they're not a bitch or a cunt. You can slap a bitch or a cunt, but these people, they're just being a little douchey, and you can't slap a douche because a douche serves a very valuable purpose. It's just, I don't know what it is about them. I want to slap the shit out of them. But I don't, and I actually laugh at myself when I think that now, and that's why I know, I'm okay, I'm still mentally hilarious. Because if I was mentally ill, I would have just slapped them. So now that you have seen that, yes, I am definitely mentally hilarious, but yeah, he's sane. He's no crazier than the rest of us. You can do this shit too. Oh wait, I already said that a few minutes ago, didn't I? Well, I'm stoned. It's all right. Let's get to the portion of the video where I actually give you some motherfucking tips. And here are the best tips that I can give anybody who's going to dip their toes in weed for the first time. Save the edibles for, like, when you've gotten accustomed to what weed does to you. Because edibles will send you on an interesting journey. It's the closest you can do to taking mushrooms at this point legally. And it's a lot of fun, but even on the lowest dosages, it lasts and it fucks you up way differently than smoking. Smoking's like... The high passes after about 90 minutes to 3 hours, but I will say that the cognizant effects on your consciousness, like the way you're going to be thinking for the rest of the day, the more positive attitude type shit, that's actually going to stay with you for more like 12 hours. You're going to feel good for a long time after you've gotten stoned smoking it. But weed will give you like a longer lasting, like trippy kind of, edibles rather, will give you that longer lasting, trippy kind of high. So I recommend starting out by smoking it, and the way that I recommend smoking it is either in a joint or a bong. Big surprise there, right? Well, I recommend if you're smoking it out of a joint, use hemp paper because it does cut down on the carcinogens some, but not too much. If you're really concerned about carcinogens and you want to actually smoke it and not vaporize it, we'll talk about that in a second here. If you want to smoke the shit, I recommend a good water bong because it does cut down on the carcinogens from the paper, and the only smoke that you're getting is the weed. And you could do that in a dry pipe, but the difference is that the water acts as a kind of filter that makes it smoother. And while there's no real scientific evidence behind it making it any safer, I kind of am of the mindset that it does. And since, quantum shit proves that what you think happens, it does, It makes it a safer, healthier smoke. Abso-fucking-lutely. Don't quote me on that legally. As always, all of this shit is 25% truth, 75% exaggeration. You are the one who's supposed to decide which is the truth and which is the exaggeration, and that's up to you, good buddy. But in any case, bongs are your friend because they are the easiest on your lungs. You can pack small bowls. You can take many, many small hits, and it's very, very easy to get accustomed to. Now, you can also take small hits off of joints, but if you are a person who doesn't like smoking cigarettes, the joint might have like some kind of psychosomatic issues associated with it. So I recommend a bong, and bongs are a lot of fun. You can get like a really cute bong. Now, vaporizers, they are very cool, but I've never known them to offer the same kind of high that you get with smoking it. Now, I do realize that I'm talking about it like a high, and I probably should have said I've never gotten medicated as well, but legitimately it just doesn't affect the consciousness of the mind. So some people are going to see that as medicated, some people are going to see that as a high, but either way, it doesn't put my mind in the place I want my mind to be in, and that's kind of important. So if I can't get my mind to that place, vaporizing, then I'm going to use the bong. Vaporizing is good. If you get to where you want to go through using a vaporizer, I highly recommend it. There are none that I have a particular preference for, so I just recommend Googling best vaporizer on the market. The only one that I might recommend, I think it's called the Vape XL, because it's kind of like a bong and a vaporizer combined. I might be wrong on the name, but if you just search vaporizer glass bong on Google, it should come up, and it's a vape bong thing. It's got like a water filtration thing with it. So that might affect the high differently. I'm going to try one of those eventually. If you want to send me one, yep, get in touch. But that'd be awesome. Manifest that shit into reality. Go! But other than vaporization, then we have edibles. Now, edibles are good if you do not want to smoke and you want to get a really trippy high going on. And I think there are a lot of people who will enjoy that. But I want to say, watch your dosage and make sure you got nowhere to be for at least 7 to 12 hours. Yeah. Now, here's the thing. It's not dangerous per se in a toxic way. But if you are, say, diabetic, you could actually eat yourself into a fucking coma if you get too stoned. I'm not even joking. I've nearly fucked up and made that mistake a couple of times myself. So weed and diabetes is something you want to be careful of, because if you get the munchies and you don't have like proper stuff to munch on, or if you don't have the discipline to just be like, I don't need to eat anything right now, I'm just going to enjoy the fucking medicinal high, could be a problem. So I would like to point that out there, because your inhibitions are going to be really low. So also, make sure you're not going to have to make any important life choices for a while. You don't want to be making life decisions while you're high. You want to make life choices while you're high, kind of. You want to make life choice thoughts, and then you want to put them in a bag, and you want to check those thoughts out when you're sober and go like, hey, I still like those thoughts. All right, we're gonna investigate those. Because you can come up with some cool shit when you're stoned, but you shouldn't act on it when you're stoned, because you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Now, if you're a fucking pro, you do you, partner. You know, this advice is just for the newbies, okay? But we got to scare the shit out of them. Otherwise, they might get hit by a fucking car. You know that shit's happened before. And other than that, watching your dosage and absolutely waiting at the bare minimum 2 hours before you redose, because it's going to take at least 2 hours depending on your... You know, it might hit you quicker, but also even if it hits you within half an hour, wait 2 hours before you take another dose, because that shit will get stronger over time, see? Some people may not feel shit for 2, 4, 5 hours, and they're going to feel everything, okay? But then there's those people who are going to feel it after 5 seconds. Watch out for those people, because they're going to get high as a fucking kite, because they're going to think, oh, wow, this is all it is? I could take more. No, it's going to build on you, motherfucker. You're going to be higher than Mary Poppins at the end of either Mary Poppins movie, okay? Just don't do it. It's a bad fucking idea. But this is also kind of the cool thing about weed, and it's what I'm going to leave you all on. Weed is a lot like Mary Poppins. Sometimes Mary Poppins just needs to come in for a little while to fix mommy, daddy, and the kids, you know? She just needs to fix shit around the house. She needs to bring the power of imagination back to that family. But then sometimes there are some motherfuckers who just need to go through life like Bert. And they know that Mary Poppins is around and they're constantly waiting for her next visit. Because they always learn some new shit and they're always able to help people and somehow do some cool things and just be happy with their life, no matter if they're a chimney sweep or a fucking millionaire. They know that they're serving their purpose, and they're just cool with their place in the universe, and that's a good place to be. And even if those terms piss you off, realize that what it amounts to is just being happy with your life, being grateful for your life, and enjoying every fucking second of it. Because why the fuck wouldn't you? Any second that you choose to suffer or to take pity on yourself is a second that you're wasting. Unless there's something immediately going to happen to you, horribly, turn on a fucking sitcom, turn on some stand-up comedy, watch a movie, play a video game, smoke some weed. Do something, because this is a wonderful fucking world, and it only becomes unwonderful when we stop thinking it is wonderful, because when we stop thinking it's wonderful, we do horrible things to one another. So please, for the love of God, smoke some fucking weed! Just once, at least. Just once. Just get high in a hotel room. You know, somewhere where you can lock a door, get a spotter. I don't care. Just smoke some weed and figure some shit out. And if you're one of those motherfuckers that go, I'm straight edge, then figure this shit out without the weed. I don't know what to tell you. But we got to do some shit differently, because from one ex-mentally ill motherfucker, I still stumble on my words. But you know what? I don't feel bad about it anymore, guys. That's why I left it all in. That's why I did this all ad-libbed and didn't write shit down. Because I wanted it to come from the heart, and I wanted you to hear from my fucking brain, my fucking pure personal expression. Does it make for the best video? I don't know. But I think if you're stoned, it might just have got the point across better than if I was like, here's 5 steps to getting your consciousness the way I have gotten mine. Look at me and my ego. Ha 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 ha. Because if you're like that, maybe you should smoke a little more weed. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in to this epic special edition of That Weed Show. That Weed Show will be back with new episodes in the future, but as a whole, aside from the Hysterical Horizons podcast, Mega Media Overload will be producing less videos until January of 2021. But if you found this entertaining and informative and you were down for this, check out Hysterical Horizons. You can find it anywhere podcasts are available practically, and you're going to love it. Trust me. Because if you listen to this and you're like, this is awesome, and you're laughing your ass off, hey, I'm glad you're still here. If you're listening to this going, fuck you, this sucked, and like, you're not awesome, I just listened to this so I could fucking write in nasty comments to you. Dude. Seriously? Oh. Wish I could give you a hug, because your life must suck. Anyway, guys. Later days.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.